Hey, is Jerry there?
Yeah, hold on a second. Jerry, this is Garrett.
Yeah, I'll get the picture. Hello, Garrett.
Hey, Jerry, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, how you doing?
Good. It's great that you got back to me so quickly. I'm glad we got to talk today.
Yeah. So, you're out down south, huh?
Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina area.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful place.
Yeah, well, Joe was saying you might be looking for some shows down here, so reach out to me if you're interested to play in Asheville or in the South.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, that'd be really a lot of fun. I'd love to.
Well,
yeah,
just to start, when someone says the words Moby Grape, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Sounds like the interviews I just did down in California. First thing that comes to mind, I don't know.
Well, what memory, I guess, would come to mind?
What memory? Oh, Monterey Pop, maybe?
What do you remember most about Monterey Pop?
Jimi Hendrix, Otis Redding, Janis, Buffalo Springfield, the Byrds.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, one of the worst things was that we volunteered to go first on Saturday. That was a kind of a dumb, stupid move. But, you know, that's history anyway.
Well, I think it was last year, it was the 50th anniversary of Moby Grape's inception. What does that milestone mean to you professionally and personally?
It mean that you know, we made our mark. You know, in history, everywhere I go. I mean, yesterday I was up at the Lick Observatory, and it was closed, but the manager was out there, and just because of Moby Grape, he let us come in and play with the telescope and give us the history of the Lick Observatory. I mean, that's pretty special. You know, some of these people, you know, they go back a ways. They remember that stuff. It's pretty cool.
What about those songs? Why do they still stand the test of time? Why are they still just as relevant today?
Because they were done right. Yeah, I told, Columbia was, you know, they couldn't get the hits out of even Aretha Franklin because they weren't kicking the bass hard enough. They weren't kicking the drums hard enough. And so we kind of changed that whole program by, because, you know, after everything is mixed down and turned into vinyl, you'll lose quite a bit of bass and drums. So I told him, I says, overemphasize that some, you know, like Stax Volt and Motown does.
Yeah. Well, you were.
So we had a great engineer. Roy Alley, and he agreed. So we goosed it up a little, so it has that album has some meat to it. And if you listen to the stuff that went on around that period of time, you know, Brian Hyland and Red Rubber Ball and all of that stuff was kind of lightweight compared to Omaha.
Yeah.
And Mr. Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a copy of that album?
I do. It's good stuff.
Isn't it good?
Now,
I love it myself to this day.
what do you hear and visualize when you play those records? When you think back on those days?
Well, I just get a kick out of it every time I hear something new. You know, if you have a stereo version, you can put it out of sync and isolate it to where it's quadraphonic.
Yeah.
Which came out to be an accident, but it's really cool. Tyran Porter from the Doobie Brothers showed me how to do that. You just got to put it out of sync, and then you can isolate 4 different tracks.
Now, as a guitarist, what is it about that instrument that separates it from other instruments for you personally? Why the guitar? and why the guitar in terms of creating music? What is it about that instrument that just speaks to you?
Well, that's just, my mom played the guitar. And when I was about 8 years old, I said, "Hey, Mom, where's your guitar?" She says, "I gave it away." And I said, "Oh, no, I just wanted to play on that thing." So a year or two later, I got one for Christmas. It was a real lemon, but still it was a guitar. And my dad paid for my lessons, $3 a lesson. Now I charge $50, and I got students. And it's so versatile, and there wasn't very many guitar players up here, but I played piano before that,
Yeah.
And there was, like, at that time, 100 piano players and maybe 5 guitar players in the whole damn town. So, and not only that, but electric guitar, you can do all kinds of things with it. And, get different tones out of it. And I thought that was really cool. But then I had been playing for quite a while and, taking my lessons, but there wasn't really much rock and roll out. So when I was 12 years old, I took this girl to the CPS Fieldhouse, and Chuck Berry was playing. Chuck Berry and, one of them R&B reviews.
Yeah.
With Bill Doggett, Chuck Berry, Laverne Baker, Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers up at the CPS Fieldhouse. So when I heard Chuck Berry start off with School Day, I said, now I know what I want to do.
It was like a lightning bolt struck you, huh?
You got it. And I had to, I wanted a Fender guitar, because they were just kind of new on the scene, but I wanted one real bad. But all I could afford was $50 for a 125 Gibson, which is the same size as my L5, basically.
Yeah.
But it just had one pickup, and I got used to those big guitars.
Yeah.
So then I got a job in the mill to pay for an L5, and I sold my '55 Chevy for the down payment, and then I sent a piece of paper with the size of my hands to Gibson, because they would make the neck to fit if you did that.
Oh, wow, I never knew that.
Yeah. Well, and so when that came in, I couldn't believe it, because I had a chance. I was playing at that time on a Telecaster or a Broadcaster, something like that. And when this big old guitar came in there, I took it right from Tacoma Music right down to the Seaport, where I was playing, old sleazy bar in the black neighborhood, and sat down, and I said, man, this thing is gargantuous. But, I just fell in love with it right away.
Did it feel like a glove?
I used to use an old Bassman, 410 Bassman with it.
Yeah.
And I had that thing forever. And a few years ago, we were in a flood, and it got wiped out. So now I'm using mostly super reverbs.
Yeah.
And also I have a Jerry Miller amp made by Tone Amps, which is really something, but it weighs a lot. But it's a 410 with Raging Cajun Patriot speakers and a master control in the back of it that nobody can see. but it just screams. But that's for a roadie be lifting, not me. I'm 73 years old. I don't need to be lifting that damn thing.